Hi friends, welcome back to playing tribute to Ace Attorney Investigations, where we are headed to the cargo hold to find some information and evidence, and probably clear Miss Tenero's name, maybe? As you can see, we're at the end of this case, part one of the end, so who knows how long it's going to be. The middle was really short, so if the end is broken up into parts, one can only imagine. So let's take a look and see if we can figure out what is going on. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? He's off running. It's so big! Well, there does seem to be a suitcase missing. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and ultra luxurious first class seating. So, is this the real scene of the murder? There's certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Alright, let's get investigating, sir. Agreed. Let us. Sorry, I was trying out the touchscreen movement. I do not like the touchscreen movement. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So, the suitcase belongs to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary here, sir. Wait, it's a file. And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. It looks like a profile of Francisco. That's interesting. I don't remember that. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Wow, I really don't remember much of this game. I haven't played this in a while. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one... Oh, this one says flammable, and this one says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Wait, can I read... Yeah, that says flammable, I can see it. And that says... flammable, maybe. I don't know. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. The paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Maybe I will. Let's see here. At $1,200! I think I'll pass. And Miss Tenero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. It definitely looks like one is missing. That's exactly what I said! What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments. Interesting. I didn't know that this plane was capable of carrying such large pieces of cargo. This thing's as tall as two of you on top of each other, sir. It would probably take 20 of you to cover the entire surface of this monstrosity. What, really? Yeah, I guess that sounds about right. There's really no need to take that throwaway estimate seriously, Detective. Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. Sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Poor Gumshoe. Well then, what do you have to say? You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation? Seems to me that you were already here at the airport for something besides the murder. Yes, I was. Alright. I've been following a very large and involved government-level international crime, but it's much too large for one person to take on alone, so it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Fascinating. Interpol is involved. It's a top-secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Sure, of course not. But that might link to the logic that I had before. If you notice anything strange happening around here... No, sir! I haven't noticed a thing. I'm sure that you meant it to sound so oblivious. And there's the elevator. I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. It can't move. Oh yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without a special keycard. Both the door to the attendance room and the elevator's control panels require a keycard, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Alright, logic. Oh, broken glasses and glass shards? Let's do that first. I like that. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from the pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses? Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses' lenses. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Is he the Interpol agent? Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said that she had to come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. Franziska? You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Is that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. But it looks like they got him to him first. Wow, she didn't call me by my full name. She just called me Miles. Very good. Progress. So you really did come here to receive the Interpol agent, then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. Huh. Interesting. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him in the case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. Well, what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Or he was investigating the smuggling. Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason, of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisco, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see. This raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator, but while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there were money scattered all over the elevator floor. Well, that was simple enough. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. Oh, what? Really, sir? Let me guess. I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. Alright, let's clear her name. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such a high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. right.
Hold it!
That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand. Much like Scruffy over there. Yeah! I can't disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well, then what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal? I thought you might ask about her.
Hold it!
But it's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Miss Tenero. It's highly likely? Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father. Yes, well, I don't have any evidence, so... Be quiet, you're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, the Mr. I-Fly piggy bank? Yes, she is also the only person with a key to open that display case.
Hold it!
But that's a fake. Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me roll out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. Which should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon. I'm thinking the body? Like if the weapon, if the wound matches the piggy bank? Because we've already examined the crime scene, we've already examined the piggy bank. Really, the body's the only thing left. Francisca, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes. We don't even have the autopsy results yet. Exactly. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound on Agent Hick's head is consistent with the murder weapon? Exactly. Scruffy! Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hick's autopsy. Yes, sir! We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Does it match the bank? What is it, Detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they already know the one thing for sure. Report, now. The doc said there's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Wow. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area. Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. So he was hit multiple times? Oh, that clears up the time of death. Yikes. Interesting. Interesting. Cranial contusion due to blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Appears to have been extensively beaten on the upper half of his back. What in the world? Scruffy, what is that? What is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's, Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, Detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless! Yow! Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way. What is all that racket? My luggage! My cargo! They're mine and I demand you return them to me! I'm still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand, I have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think he gave... Hey, what are you? You have left me no choice but to use strong force. Yeah! You won't get past me. This is... Wait, that's it! So that's what the whole thing has been about. And in this single second, I think of all of these things. Forces me into logic. Okay. So it's very clear what happened here. I just need to link them together correctly. So... these both talk about the weapon. This talks about it. Nobody could find something that could be considered a real weapon in the hold. Severely beaten. I'm gonna connect the weapons together because they both mention weapon. Obviously we know what happened. Yeah, we know what happened. It's just not going to be easy to fit together, apparently. Okay, I should go with my gut. I was gonna do this. And that's probably what I should have done. Unless it doesn't work also. Oh no, it worked. Okay. See, just go with your gut. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there is extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from the shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Yeah, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. Fell from the stairs. If we were looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. So far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we've all overlooked from the very beginning, because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. The plane itself. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Francisca. What? What do you want? I found it, Francisca. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped! We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. It's coming from a prosecutor with the habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Show me this real murder weapon you speak of. I don't have any evidence to show, because it's the plane. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent X's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what it was that was the real cause of death. Free fall! Free falling! The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death was free falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, and this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back, and the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside the plane. I know. Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You can't mean... Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs on this very cargo hold. What? Then... We're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet! Why are you screaming? He's alive! And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Suppose the large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Borginian pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there. So there's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there's no proof that it was always there. Ha! As if there could have been a window of time when this giant box was not there. But there was. What? I know. Not that one. Wait. This one. Transfer cargo.
Take that!
At Zengfa. You refueled in the Republic of Zengfa? Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zengfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. It's labeled Zengfa Express. Correct, meaning it was located under the plane at Zengfa. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded at the same time? For a second there, the symbol looked like the symbol of the Yatagarasu. It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zengfa leg of the flight, making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. But your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me the chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Let's do it. Back to the cargo. This is a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Aleph Red Statue. Never heard of it. Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Let's get investigating, sir. Foreign words. Gosh. Look here! Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Don't rush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. I take it this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc? Of course it is mine! I shipped a fine piece of art from Europe. This Aleph Red Statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. Darn, how did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. But I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun. I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or dollars? Does it really make a difference in our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there's a chance that your cargo related to the murder case. I was wondering if you would allow me to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no! There will be no touching! Yeah, let's see about that, actually. Because, there's a lot of suspicious things going on here. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board from Zengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. Hi. Hi again, hello. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect it's your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says, plain as day, the cargo was put into the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in this certificate. No, that's... Which means that there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. That's unfortunate. There's definitely something fishy going on here. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount this theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right. This... I know, I've seen this somewhere before. This is the alley, Fred. It gives off such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. This statue has high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. I believe a closer look is warranted here. And perhaps I'll be able to deduce something. His eyes look like they're made of jewel-like stone. Those stones sure are pretty. Look at that fiery orange color, sir. Well, according to Mr. LeBlanc, the whole thing is worth a pretty penny. I just got a really good idea. I can probably find some rocks down by the river I can polish off to look like real jewels. I think I'll try that out and give one to Maggie as a present next time. I wonder if he's serious, and I wonder if I should try to stop him if he is. It's the thought that counts. So this is the infamous Ellie Fred statue, What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? Yeah, why is it called Elif Red if there's no red on it? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Yes. I'm really assuming that the eyes are supposed to be red. I'm gonna look in my organizer and see. Yep. It's a fake! It's a fake! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do. That's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms as though I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah, sir, they're red! As I thought. The statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc. What do you want? Do you not know I am busy, man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The alley Fred. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is biggest trophy on the European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess the statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. You better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. The large fellow there has pretty bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why this sudden yelling? Now then. Oh. It is a photo of statue on display in a museum in Europe. Yeah! Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. A fake?! I believe that even further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake, there must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Zenfar. And I will present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. It's on top of this. Did we determine that this was brought on board in Zhengfa too? Yeah, so it shouldn't be on top of this if it was here first from Europe. I hope I'm pointing to the right place.
Eureka!
There's clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. That's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Shengfa, there's no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe, which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Shengfa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask you in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There is only one reason why. It's to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however, you have it backwards, Francisco. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge, which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Interesting. I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks would have fallen to his death. Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath, now. Miss Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the aloof red statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol, and there was a reaction. I see, there was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot. Can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you think the killer did that? With the rag, right?
Take that!
Or the cloth. The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhengfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa? There's no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zhengfa, then this becomes highly suspect. Oh, that's right. So we have... Misaki was there when we took off at 5. And we have... Yeah, because Mr. LeBlanc said he saw him at 3 because the time was off. Miss De Niro has never been a problem with. Miss Meal that's suspect right now. Recall Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks in regards to when we departed Zhengfa. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but... That totally contradicts the facts, sir! But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. And I guess we'll be coming to that next time. Another shorter one. Short and sweet and simple. So I guess we will be interrogating Ms. Meal in the next episode. So I'll talk to you guys then.